It's really bad lighting today, so you'll have to forgive the grimness. Welcome to Mental Health Monday Recovery, and today I'm going to be talking about memory and the problems with memory caused by long-term mental health problems. I already talked about in my PTSD video about the physical effects on the brain, the shrinking of the amygdala and the hippocampus, which naturally limit your ability to record and store memories. But the reality of it is a completely different matter. To start with, memory is context. Memory is personhood. Memory is you. And when you don't have memory, you don't have you. Memory makes up who you are, and the loss of memory kind of feels like being erased. Feels like there isn't any of you there, that you're just this shell. And you try and construct yourself from the bits that you have left. And sometimes on a daily basis from new bits. But it's problematic because a lot of those new bits just don't stick around. They don't have the staying power because your memory just kicks stuff out that it doesn't deem necessary. One of my biggest problems is that my memory, when taking on board new information, will tend to kick out old information, or at least store it in places where I can't access it. And sometimes that information that it chooses to put away or get rid of, because I don't know whether it's still there or not, is stuff that I need. Words, my vocabulary is shrinking. I mean, one of the biggest ironies for me about recovery is that I am emotionally and mentally gradually improving, but my memory is actually getting worse. When I look back at the stuff I was writing 3 or 4 years ago, yeah, the vocabulary that I had then just isn't there. And I'm reading more this year than I have for a couple of years. And usually it used to be that if I was reading a lot and reading good literature, that my brain would then replenish its store of words. That's kind of not happening. Maybe I seem like I'm articulate. Maybe if you read my blog posts that go along with these videos, I'll seem like I have a vocabulary, but it's not like it was, and it's difficult to get that across to people. It's difficult to explain how this feels as a person, how you feel parts of you are just gradually being deleted. Yeah, I feel like I'm being erased bit by bit, and there wasn't much of me to start with. That's how my memory problems make me feel. I don't want to have conversations with people. This is one of the problems about starting to feel better and wanting to go out into the world. I don't remember the things I've read. I don't remember the things I've watched. I remember better parts of movies that I've seen over and over and over again, like parts of The Lost Boys. I must have watched that so many fucking times as a kid, and it's part of it has stayed in my brain, but on the whole I just don't remember stuff. And in conversation, when people are making references to things, I don't get them. Even if it's stuff that I've seen and should theoretically know, I don't get them. And I can't make those kind of references. When I'm online and I have Google, I can be okay. I can, because the stuff that comes into my head to reference is vague. I'm like, oh, what was that? Oh, there was a thing, and I can't get it. And so I Google and see if I can hunt it down. And sometimes I find it and sometimes I don't. There are things that I want to say and things that I want to reference, and Google helps me find them sometimes. In real life, there is no Google. You know, I'm waiting for the brain implant. I'm waiting for that shit, because I will have Google right there and I will be able to access it immediately when I'm in a conversation with someone and not feel like a fucking idiot. Because one of the main things that this lack of ability to recall information does is make me feel stupid. Really, really stupid, like a dullard, like I have no place in the circles that I want to be part of. I'm an author. I want to be amongst that community. But authors that I know, all of them can quote things all over the bloody place, the things they've read, the things they've seen, the things they watch on TV. They reference things all over the bloody place. I can't do that. My brain doesn't hold on to it. It does not recall it for me. It's part of age and it's part of aging, and sometimes everybody experiences this stuff, but I experience it way more regularly. Not being able to remember names and terms and just blanking on stuff, just completely blanking. You're in the middle of a sentence and the thing you were going to say is right there, it's right there, and then it's gone. As if it was never there. And you're just like, what was I going to say? And it's not just that, it's the fact that I remember things out of sequence as well. I don't remember in order. People remember A, B, C. I remember sometimes C and then maybe A. I sometimes remember things that aren't even true. Like, I've taken the information in and I've stored it completely incorrectly somehow. There are things that I say that I research later. I'm like, oh God, did I actually say that? It's not even true. It's not even true the way I've said it. It's true in this way, but in the way I've said it, I've given the facts completely incorrectly. And that takes so much confidence away from you, that you can't express the things that you know in a way that makes sense. And often you can't even express the things you know because you don't know them anymore when you're talking to people. Like 2 weeks later, you'll remember the anecdote that you wanted to say or the name that you were searching for. It will just come to you out of the blue and you're like, what? Why weren't you there when I needed you? And I know this stuff happens to everybody at different times, but it happens to me consistently. It is my constant experience of the day. Not remembering stuff, not being able to recall stuff in the correct sequence or the correct information for stuff. It's all gone. I blank on things so often. When I'm doing my reviews, I have to have a list of the facts from the book in front of me because I will have completely forgotten by the time I get round to reviewing the book. Even if I read it the same week as I review it, I will have forgotten what it was I wanted to say or all the facts about the book that were relevant. I do use my phone. I use like the diary on my phone, and I use my notes on my phone a lot. Nearly had a disaster when I lost some of those. It was like 2 years of notes that had gone onto Gmail, and I had no idea they'd gone onto Gmail, and they were just gone. And I would like take my phone back to an earlier backup. I was doing this over and over again on iTunes, trying to figure out what happened. But yeah, I don't remember stuff. And it's not good, and it's getting worse with words and things. And to be honest, I watched Still Alice the other week, and I ended up really upset because this is not dementia, but so much of it feels like dementia. Having a word hanging there and not being able to grab it. Knowing that you know information and not being able to retrieve it. Not being able to feel like you are a person anymore because all the stuff that made you you is gone. All of that. I am being erased. I am losing my vocabulary. I am struggling on a daily basis with simple memory issues. I am terrified of having conversations with people because I know I'm boring, because I can't do all the referencing stuff, because I don't remember it. And I end up talking about trivial crap because that's all I can talk about. And I know that it makes me uninteresting. But what can you do? You know? And it does make you upset. It does. It feels like all of me has been stolen from me and I want it back. And I can't have it back. Because maybe it's not there. Maybe the shrinking of the hippocampus and the amygdala means I won't ever get any of it back. Maybe it was never actually recorded. Maybe it really was deleted. Maybe I really have been deleted. Maybe I really am being erased. And maybe I don't have enough of a memory to be able to construct a new me. That's my biggest fear, I think. I'm young, I'm only 39, and I'm literally, I'm sometimes like a 90-year-old in how I forget stuff. You know, I feel like I'm only one step away from putting the milk in the oven and putting my shoes in the fridge. I feel like all I've got memory space for left is the basics. Yeah. I don't want to be this way. I want my brain back. I want my memory back. I want to be a person. And I don't feel like a person. And that's what not having a memory does. Takes away your personhood. Takes away your ability to feel like you can interact with other people, even if you want to. I know people are happy to talk to me, but all the interesting creative conversations, they go on when I'm not there. And I know that too. And this one is making me really sad, and I don't want it to. So I'm just going to end it there. Because I kind of feel like there's no point in me getting all upset on camera. And probably just an artifact of hormones anyway. But yeah, memory. Not having it sucks. And that's that. Next time in 2 weeks, and I'm sorry this one's been so miserable. I'm just feeling pretty crap about it all at the moment. And I can't help that. Sometimes these are going to be sad and stuff. Deal with it. I have to. Anyway, next time I'm going to be talking about impatience. That's kind of what happens when you have mental illness and you are recovering and the two are not meeting at a proper juncture. Things are not happening fast enough. You are not able to move forward in the way that you want. You're not able to have the emotional responses you want. You're not able to be what you want when you want it. And that results in a lot of impatience, a lot of frustration. And I want to talk about that in 2 weeks' time. And hopefully I won't cry all over you then, because what's the point of crying? It doesn't change anything. So thank you for watching. Sorry if I've made you miserable. And I shall see you next time.